Well, hello there. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome back to 9 Years in China with the old teacher, Kenny here. Today we're going to get on a good topic. This is all for you teachers. We probably have a couple more videos that we may do, but this one is important. We're going to talk about how to test your students. So hope you like what we've been doing so far. Subscribe. It doesn't take but a click of a button to subscribe to my channel. So get busy. All right. But testing, guys. During my time in China, I have tested every imaginable way possible for oral, conversational, spoken English, whatever you want to call it. The main thing is students, the way the school will make it to you, you just give them a grade, but each student needs to be individually graded somehow, and so you can give them a fair score. And originally, my first year in China, I never taught anybody before, not teaching English. And so the things that were important to me year one had changed a few times. I had to figure out how to build a better mousetrap, so to speak. Now, originally, my first year in China, I just drew up a sheet of paper and I went through pronunciation things. I did a little listening, and that was really pretty much it. And I just graded them on the old, if it was an 80, it was a B, if it was a 90, it was an A or whatever. And also, my philosophy on testing, guys, if they come to class, if they participate in class, that's a worthy B. And if they prove themselves less than a B, so be it. If they prove themselves better than a B, that's great too. But I figure if I start with a B, they can go up or down, and that's kind of how my philosophy was on this. Anyhow, my first year, I got a video on that. I'll try to see if I can link that. I got a video somewhere about testing. My first year, it was so cold my first year in China, I had to bring the students to my house, and we tested them one by one in my office. Think about this. This is 11 classes, around 500 people. And I had help from students from the neighboring college come in and help me. A big undertaking. But the only way I knew it was test those students and evaluate them on their individual ability. And I still believe they have to be individual tested to get a grade. Don't try to do a mass grading of these students. But eventually, what happened next is I started filming them. I set up my little camcorder, kind of like I'm using right now, and I have it on the students, and I could go back and listen to them again. Because when you are actually testing, if you got a class of 40 people, 50 people, you are busy. It's going to take a couple of weeks. You cannot test a class in one day. It is impossible. So you got to plan your testing, at least 2 days of testing. And you still, depending on how many kids you got, you still maybe have to call them into a classroom at night to finish your testing, or have them come to your house or whatever. When you deal with China, guys, there's just so many people. And not every class is going to be 20 or 25 people. We can pray, but it's not, don't expect it. But I started filming them, and I could watch the videos again at my house, and eventually come up with a grade. And what I usually do then, kind of like how I ended up testing them the rest of my time in China, you got a paper, you got their name on it, you got a list of things that you want to hear, and whether grammar, their use of crutch words, use of vocabulary. You know, it's up to you to come up with your test paper what you think is the most important. But I always had a good design paper that went over most of the categories, and then I would average out a score. If they got a 70 with poor vocabulary, maybe they made it up with their pronunciation. Okay, so you know, in America, you know, we take tests and we average them out. China really aims for one big test the semester. But anyhow, come up with a good test paper and go get it printed. And while I liked filming, I did not like filming testing students one at a time. It was terribly, terribly time consuming. And so what I ended up doing, and this is the best way I know of, you got to think, foreign teacher in China, we are there to get them to speaking. That's what it is. They got their own teachers that teach grammar and reading and writing and all that. But we have a speaking thing, and we kind of take in parts of the different other parts of English. So I'm thinking about, well, we got to have them speaking. I need them not to be able to study. If they have to study something, if you tell them we're going to test next week and it's going to be about your favorite grandparent or whatever, they are going to rehearse that until there's no end. You don't want them to rehearse. That's the worst thing you can do for a natural, free thought, free speaking conversation. Because we don't rehearse. You know, if I meet a stranger, you know, downtown, there's no rehearsal. If you call somebody on the telephone, and you really can't rehearse that. So I need them heads up, using their mind, using the vocabulary they have. So what I came up with, because I really didn't want to know either, or I might have some expectation. So for me, it would be a bit of a surprise also what I ended up doing. And here's what I did, and you can do this, and I'll guarantee you it works, and it works great. I'd have my test papers laid out in front of me, and the students, you know, are around me right here. And I had a little cloth bag that I got at one of the department stores, you know, buying shoes or something with it. And I took pieces of paper, lots of them, like your favorite grandparent, your future job, would you want to live in another country? I thought of every kind of topic that I could, and the more the merrier, guys. Come up with 20, 30, 40 topics. Write them all down on a piece of paper, fold them up, and put them in that bag. Then you let them draw, and I usually would do two pieces of paper, two topics. So I'll let maybe the person right here next to me, they reach in the bag, you know, and how do you like English? Or why do you like English? Something like that. Then they start having a conversation with each other. It just kind of goes around, and I let them answer the question. Each one of them answer the question. And as I'm listening to them, I make little initial remarks. And I'm filming this also. Filming is really important when you got so many people, and it's so hard to make a decision. Remember, you are flying in that class when you're doing that testing. You're literally racing against time, and it's going to take at least 2 weeks. I guarantee it's going to take at least 2 weeks for you to test everybody, and that's if you have no distractions whatsoever. It's not an easy thing in China, believe me. So anyhow, topic one, and it comes back around, and I've made some initial remarks. We got, and they do it pretty quick too. So I leave another girl, boy, whatever, reach in the bag. They pull out another topic. If you could live anywhere, you know, would you move from China? Would you go to another country? You know, whatever the topic is, what's your favorite band, favorite song? Just come up with a bunch of topics. Then we make another round, and I'd shut them off, and ask for the next group. But this method is by far and away the best method I've ever found to test the Chinese student, because they don't know what they are going to be tested on. I make it a total surprise. I don't know what topic they're going to discuss, so it keeps me fresh also, because at the end of the period, you may be wore out just listening and writing down remarks. But believe me, if you will test like I just told you, it'll be very fruitful, and you can go back later, keep your papers in order, make sure, make damn sure you get their name and audibly in perfect English. Because if not, you will not remember all the students' names. It's impossible. And I try to get them to give me an English name, Bob, Billy, Sue, or whatever. But make sure you can hear it on the video. Make sure they say it nice and loud. If you even think you didn't hear it right, you make them say it again. And you do that at the very, very beginning. Because if not, you're not going to know what's going on. There's too many students, too many papers, and even going back and reviewing with your video, it's a lot to deal with. But this method works really, really good. You can test 5 or 6 people really easy at one time. If you don't get your class finished in one period, you're going to have another period the next week. Or if you're lucky and you got English majors and you got 2 periods, maybe you can get them all finished. There's just so many people to deal with. But take what I told you today and run with it, because it works. It's easy, simple, and it just won't fail you, okay? It's the easiest way I know of to test a mass amount of people with oral English, okay? So you have a great day, and I hope I'll see you again soon, okay? So bye-bye. Huedo Jian.